Florida's amazing. We get some of the best preservation, some of the most complete crania or even whole skeletons, many sort of museum pieces, classic scientific study pieces have come from Florida. And so the question of why such gorgeous preservation, it certainly has to do with the way in which shortly after death or very quickly an animal is buried. It wants to be buried rather tightly or deeply in some sort of mud, preferably seal off the oxygen. And one very characteristic way, especially in the late Pleistocene sites around the state, is sort of boggy or swampy conditions. Those tend to consume the oxygen quickly, bury the animals in a moderate depth of muds. Because it's highly organic, perhaps warm waters, the oxygen's quickly exhausted and the animal is permanently buried. Once in a while we see Pleistocene material, and including the recent discoveries at Wekiva River, where it looks fresh. The animal really is just original bone with a little bit of tannic acid or humic acid in the bone, but it's just fresh looking, slightly tanned bone. And that's a typical Florida trick. It's just very fresh, but it was sealed off from oxygen in some sort of organic mud quickly enough to be beautiful. The llama jaws that we recently collected from the Wekiva River are just spectacular. They look like yesterday's animal. We know those animals are more than 10,000, and who knows, maybe 20 or 30. When we get the date, we'll know. But they don't look very old. There are a number of other ways that fossils are preserved, and sometimes they are fully mineralized once they're buried. Some sort of mineral material, typically silicates and irons and other clay minerals, permeate the bone and permineralize them. And we see that some, especially in the older Florida sites. Bone Valley has lots of iron and phosphate minerals, including uranium is also in many of these Bone Valley bones from the phosphate mines. But you know, it depends a lot on the local conditions. Typically Florida has low but lots of wet sites, low relief and lots of wet sites. And as waters sort of fluctuate, and water tables fluctuate in Florida, we get lots of fossil preservation.